Okay. Give me a sec to get comfy in my seat. You know, I should have like chilled for a bit more, but I kind of want to, like, it's midnight, so I kind of want to get Salmon Run going. But yeah, predominantly, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be about too many games, because last stream was day one, basically, which the recap is like, basically it was just, got to the convention, did Charles Martinet, and then, went back to the Airbnb and pretty much talked with half of the people while the other half kind of watched YouTube videos. I was talking about how, like, you know, Charles Martinet bit pretty good, you know. Charles Martinet was really happy and shit. But then, like, at the Airbnb, kind of prefer that we would have, like, played games or something. And day two, I wasn't disappointed. So basically how day two went is, trying to rack my brain. That was yesterday. I was gonna stream earlier to be like, or stream yesterday just to have like a day in review for all 3 days, but I figured that would have been weird with the format of how these videos usually go, and also I was kind of tired and wanted to get to bed so I would wake up on time for today's Too Many Games. But I don't even know what I was saying anymore. But yeah, come on. That was a bad play right there. That was a real bad play right there. Well, at least I'm back up here. But yeah, so basically day two was, I pretty much got there around, what was it, like noon. Because I woke up pretty late, because I stayed up pretty late to do that salmon run, right? So I still wanted to get my 8 hours, and then I wanted to, you know, peep Twitter and shower and eat and stuff like that. So I got a pretty late start there, but it was mostly fine. Like, I didn't really, well, I think I missed the Charles Martinet panel. Hey, Biggs. Not Charles Martinet. I missed the, who's Eggman's voice actor again? It's, Mike Pollock? Yeah, I missed like his, panel, I think. I forget what the panel schedule was, but that was at noon. I wasn't making that. And, you know, because I was, I guess, that late, finding a parking space was kind of weird. So I found one kind of like an offshoot kind of little parking lot, like still next to the convention center, but I think it was like for a smoke shop. So I was like, oh, I hope I don't get towed or anything. But I think I was good. So, you know, it's kind of late, but not really. Like, missed that panel, whatever. We kind of went in, hung out, got lunch, and then hung out there for a bit longer, and then we went back to the Airbnb at around 3. So, sorry, I'm like freestyling this, and it was yesterday, so I'm kind of confused. But yeah, at the convention. Oh wait, day 2. I was kind of like getting sick of the convention. You know, it was like loud. I couldn't hear anyone, and I'm just like, you know, I kind of just want to go back to the Airbnb. Gonna watch the VOD on YouTube. Not a problem, man. It's pretty late and shit, so I completely understand. But yeah, I was like kind of sick of the convention, but we were kind of sticking around, so I made the best of it, and I got that Guardian. Like, I had a little wish list, and like one of the things on the wish list was the Guardian amiibo, because Guardians are like my favorite part of Breath of the Wild, you know. So I actually found one for like 40 bucks, which, I mean, they were like, what? Like, what was it, like, they were relatively expensive at retail. I think like maybe 20 or whatever, but then they're like, I looked on Amazon and they were like 60 or some shit, so it's just like, you know, it's a pretty big amiibo. I felt pretty alright about it, especially because it looks so good, you know? And I'm gonna have it as a kind of centerpiece on my desk. So that was fine. And then I got Pikmin 2 because I saw it. I was looking for Mario Party 4 and Mario Party 5. I don't know if this was day 1 or not, actually. I kind of forget. But I got Pikmin 2. because my copy has like this big scratch on the front of it, and I think the front of, like, having the front of the disc scratched is like a death sentence. Like, it would only work half of the time. So I got Pikmin 2, and then I got Mario Party 4, which personally, I don't really think that that's that good of a Mario Party. We have a friend, Connor, who fucking plays some of that competitively or whatever. It's like, it's really hype when he plays and shit. Like, so I have fun with it then. But I think that the maps are like kind of bad with the mini mushroom and shit. Either way, I got it anyways, and then I was gonna get Mario Party 5. I couldn't find it, which was kind of a blessing in disguise. Because at the aforementioned Connor, I don't know if I said this before, he has my, like, last TMG, we played Mario Party 5 in his Wii, but I forgot to take it out. So, he took it home, well, yeah, he basically, like, took it home with him, and then realized once it was there. So, he, like, sent it back, allegedly, and I never got anything. I think he sent the wrong thing or something. But we're just like, you know, next TMG he'll bring it back, and then he didn't bring it back this TMG. Yeah, I definitely said this because I said I'm not angry or anything, just having a laugh at this point. He said he'll send it back after this TMG, so maybe like tomorrow or the day after I'll remind him about it. But yeah, it's like Mario, like all the games there were pretty expensive because, like, you know, they don't sell GameCube games anymore, so it would have been like $40 for Mario Party 5. For a copy of Mario Party 5 that I like still own, technically, I don't have it. Connor has it, but it's still mine. I own it, and he's supposedly gonna send it back. So I'm like, you know, I'm not gonna buy that. Save the money a bit. Even though I definitely could have like let myself go that convention, I was like, I don't have to. And then I'm like now I'm doing this thing where I put plushies in the back of my car, and I don't know how people feel about that. People hate bumper stickers, even though I think they're all right, but the huge consensus against that. So I'm thinking like plushies are all right, you know, maybe a bit juvenile, but I don't know what the consensus on that is. But I need small plushies, otherwise they'll go everywhere and block the mirror, sorry, the back windshield and shit. So I've got a red Pikmin and a Rowlet, and the Rowlet is so cute. I'm so happy with that purchase. And those are like $15 each, which is good. You know, that's actually a good price, I think. That's how much they would be everywhere else. So I think those are the only things I bought besides food. I bought Charles Martinet Pictures and Signature. I bought Rowlet and the red Pikmin. I bought Mario Party 4 and Pikmin 2, and I think that's it. The Guardian amiibo. I forget if I said that. But I think those are the only things I bought at the convention, which compared to last year is like great. Last year I bought, I think, Artanelico sealed special copy for $120, and I haven't opened it. So I got instant buyer's remorse on that one. But I'm fine. I'm still fine now, so it didn't like put me in a rough spot or anything. Yeah, I'm definitely like kind of pleased with how my purchasing habits went this year, at least. Because today, skipping to today a bit, I didn't even go to the convention. So, yeah, like, it had to have happened on day 1 or day 2. But yeah, day 2, we went back to the Airbnb. There was like this, to get back to the Airbnb the fastest way, because apparently, like, everyone else was going another way. But this way was much faster. Like, you had to go on this fucking highway. And the thing about this highway is, like, the barriers were taller than my car, and like the roads were really narrow, and there was a lot of traffic, and you had to exit on the left at one point, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ. Like, it was a hell highway, and then I have people in the car, so like, you know, if I get in an accident, people's lives are on the line. I was stressing out. So we made it, thankfully. And then we actually played games. Like, you know, Mike Panutz came over. I don't know what, you know what, I don't really want to treat him like he's a celebrity or anything. I think everyone there even kept it cool. Like, he was just a normal guy, because that's what he is, you know? He's a normal dude. We just talked like we were friends, which is nice. But yeah, you know, he came over and Colette came over or somebody, which was nice. And she was in like, I think it was day 1. But on like day 2 and 3, we didn't even, did we see her on day 1? I don't know. On day 2 and 3, she had like this Lolita, I don't know if I'm saying that word right, kind of get up. Like day 2 was kind of fruit themed, and today it was like this nice brown, white kind of thing. That kind of clothing style is really nice, so it was real good until, you know, rain happened, but yeah, then we played Jackie, which is Jackbox, for a bit, just like last year. It was good fun. I'm usually a spectator in those because I don't like to put myself forward, but I did do some Quiplash and other. I don't know what. I don't even remember what else we played, but it was fun. And then Mario Party 4 happened. Oh wait, well that was after dinner, I think, right? So dinner was like, well, I don't really want to drive because that drive up to the Airbnb was pretty stressful, and I really didn't want to drive up and around there, especially because I would most likely have to go on a highway again with people in the car. Which, you know, Chris, you have a car, you should offer. And it's kind of like I don't want to drive. It all worked out though. I kind of felt like I was shafting like Claire and Jeff and stuff, but so I was like feeling bad the whole way because Pat, I've caught a ride with Pat to Five Guys and stuff, but I was like feeling really bad the whole way because I thought like I shafted them. But no, I just forgot that they gave money to the people going to Chick-fil-A and got something from there, so I think it was all good. I do feel kind of bad just kind of being that guy, like I have the car but I don't want to drive, but really I'm being honest, it was like out of anxiety, you know. I hope that's fair. But yeah, after that Mario Party 4 happened, and I mentioned before that Connor did Mario Party 4 like competitively, like, you know, button mashing, and there's a very specific way to play Mario Speedwagons, which was like the gear shifting racing game, if you remember what that is. I feel like most people remember what that is because I don't think any kid understood how to fucking play that game. So it really sticks out in, you know, the memory. And he got, the world record for that is 9 seconds and 13 milliseconds. And he got that on night 2, and then Mario Party 4 happened again today, and he got it again. So he can get that world record pretty consistently, and I think there was input lag on that too, so it's really impressive, you know? I hope I didn't seem like fake interested in all that when I was asking him stuff, because it is genuinely interesting when someone was like passionate about a game like that and knows all the information, and you know nothing about Mario Party 4 because you basically considered it the worst Mario Party up until that point. So it's fun learning about that. Playing Splat Tim to recover from Fortune Street. Oh, don't worry, I'll get to Fortune Street. But I mean, I don't even remember if we did much else on day 2, right? It was like, then there was Mario Party, and it was hype. Like it was funny because Connor was on a team, and the other team actually won, despite him like pretty much knowing that game top to bottom, except for story mode stuff apparently, but that's fine. So that was a funny little turn of events. It's just a kind of a joke. His teammate was like the worst Mario Party 4 player he's ever seen. I don't think that was a joke though, but like he was 0-0 in everything for most of the game. It was pretty funny. Oh yeah, and then there was some Kirby Air Ride, and I was like, well, I have to play as Chocolate Kirby, so I went ahead and was like, let me go that checklist for a second. And fortunately, some purple check marks were open, so I used that to unlock Chocolate Kirby. I'm like, yeah. It turns out I fucking suck at Kirby Air Ride or something. Maybe it's because the screen was small. The controller is kind of not mine. I don't know. There we go. When I say that, I mean like it kind of had like, you know, controller grease. That's not a real thing, but it feels kind of greasy. Kind of some of that. I don't know. I don't want to make Johns for this since I genuinely don't think I'm that good at Kirby Air Ride anymore. I thought I was pretty good at one point though. But you know, I was playing as Chocolate Kirby. It was fun, especially just to watch. I'm I'm such a fucking doofus. I love to watch games more than playing them. It's so weird. But it's especially good when there's like a room full of people and there's demand to play a game, and I'm the guy who really genuinely doesn't mind not playing because I prefer to watch stuff. So it worked out. And then I think that was pretty much day 2. Then we kind of went home. And then day 3 was I woke up kind of the same time. Can't believe they made Let's Plays a real thing. Baldy. Hey. Yeah, today I woke up and I was like kind of ready to go, but I was like, I was like, yes, like day 2's convention center was like, it was kind of, I'm gonna be real, I was kind of pissed off. Like, people were in a circle and they were talking and then laughing, but I don't, like my hearing's not that good, especially like with the loud music in the convention center, so I couldn't hear anything. I was just kind of awkwardly standing there, you know? That kind of shit. So I was just like, I don't want to buy anything else at the convention. I pretty much filled out my wish list, right? And you know, the only panel there was like some, like I don't even remember what the panel was. But yeah, on Saturday day 2, I pretty much, oh shit, I missed a lot of Mike Pollock panels, which I was kind of interested in because I love Mike Pollock and his Eggman voice and just Eggman as a character. I think he's I'm pretty sure Eggman's my favorite villain of all time, so, you know. But that was also like, it was 3, the signing was at 6. I didn't want to sit, like I didn't want to find something to do for 3 hours and then stand in line for another hour, you know what I mean? So, I was like, nah, that's fine, it's fine, I'll go without. So Charles Martinet was pretty much the only panel I did. It wasn't really about the panels, it was about hanging out at the Airbnb, I thought. So that was exactly my train of thought, because I'm like, I'm not even going to the convention, because the convention was like 40 minutes away, the Airbnb is like 20 minutes away on the highway, so I'm like, yeah, I'll just do that. So really, a lot of this morning was just chilling, kind of doing nothing, because I was waiting for the okay to like, oh, the Airbnb has people hanging out. It's like, oh yeah, like, I asked, and then there was a reply like, oh yeah, there are like, you know, 10 people chilling here. And I'm like, oh shit. Like I'm late, more or less. I was like, oh, I'm like all here ready to be early, and then turns out like, you know, I could have gone like 30 minutes ago. So I'm like, shit. But I went to the Airbnb, and what did we do exactly? I don't entirely remember. Everyone was getting lunch before that. I just kind of had Pop-Tarts and a granola bar for lunch. I remember I got there and they were playing Metroid Prime. I don't know which Metroid Prime, but like Metroid Prime multiplayer. Not really my thing. Like I'm not really into like one-on-one kind of Halo style things. So that wasn't really my thing, but it's fine. Then I think Mike came over again. We played a bit more Jackie, mostly Jackbox 4 stuff. I wanted to do Monster Seeking Monster a lot. We never did it though, which is kind of disappointing because I feel like there are people there who didn't even know what that game was, and it's really fun. It's really complex, but once you get the hang of it, it's really fun. So that was kind of disappointing. I didn't want to push it though, you know. I don't want to be that guy, so there was that. Mario Party 4 was played again, this time with like Mike and Connor on the same team, so that was pretty funny. The game couldn't end, but someone needs to get eggs, dude. But yeah, the game ended prematurely, but Connor was stomping that game at least, so yeah, good on him. Oh yeah, we played more Kirby Air Ride after Metroid Prime. I don't have the timetable correct here. I basically unlocked all the colors and then showed off the bulk star thing. You know, there's like this glide challenge, and if you just mash A with the bulk star, it just flies infinitely. I think it was that, then Mario Party then I think more Jackbox. I forget. Yeah, I think more Jackbox, then dinner. And dinner was just ordering a pizza, so that was good. And then what happened was somehow I got Fortune Street in there. And as plenty of people know, probably, I love Fortune Street. But the problem is, it's like only 4 players, and the game is like an hour minimum. But somehow, 3 other people wanted to play. People seemed fine with it. I was like, oh yeah, let's do it. Show people what Fortune Street's about. Because it's like, it always seems really confusing. It's like, oh, there's so many numbers and shit. Like, what the hell? But I think, like, something really weird about Fortune Street is it's so easy to learn. And I think all 3 of them picked up how the game is played pretty quickly. So I'm happy about that. But the thing was, it was a pretty good. Like, overall, it was a great game of Fortune Street. Like, probably the best I've ever played, honestly. But, it was on Mario Stadium, and it was like, there's so many people. Like, when it's just, you know, only the people who are there playing the game, you can explain everything. But then, you know, people were getting distracted, and I was worried that no one would learn anything and shit. But, you know, it all turned out okay. So that was a stressor, and then like halfway through the game, Julian, aka Game Boo, like starts doing he starts wheeling deals. This is like the first time I've ever seen anyone go so hard on deals. And like, you know, I'm normally the guy who's like, well, I'm not gonna make a deal until like I'm good. Like, I can't really explain Fortune Street here, but basically the go-to strat is it's like Monopoly. You get more shops in a district, you invest stock into the shops in that district, and then you expand the shops in that district, so then the stocks get bigger, and then you get more money, because you spend money to expand the shops, right? So the stocks kind of bolster that, and you make a profit. So essentially I never trade, because even though monopolies are good, like, normally the trades are someone else gets a monopoly and you get a monopoly in the same go. I hope this makes sense. But the thing is, it's normally not fair if, like, because Game Boo had stock in his district, I had no stock in the district he wanted to make my monopoly in. So, and that happens often. I'm normally like, I'm not gonna trade yet until I put stock in there, and then I'll trade. So I did, and then, you know, we traded. Sloth, who was another player, already had a monopoly. He was the first to get a monopoly, so I think that was also through a trade with Game Boo. But there was like this thing where everyone had a district, or everyone had a monopoly, because I gave OK, who also was playing, I was like, you know what, I'll sell this shop to OK, so, you know, everyone can have a monopoly, it'll be an even game. Because I was really afraid that it was going to be a dead, boring game where everyone makes dead districts. Essentially, like, no one gets any like, everyone only gets one shop per district and stuff. But it was a great game, actually. Like, it worked out really well. So, I was pleased with that. But then Game Boo, like, he already had a monopoly. Everyone already had a monopoly. All we had to do was start building the monopolies up. Hey, Deku. Talking about Fortune Street, because Fortune Street happened tonight, and it was wild. But yeah, like, all we had to do was start building up the monopolies, and I'm like, you know, saying this, like, you know, like, alright. But Julian, he wasn't having it. Julian there was, like, another district that he had 2 shops in, and he wanted 3 shops in it. So he kept trying to get Sloth to, essentially, in this trade that Julian was proposing to Sloth, he would get 3 shops in the district, and Sloth would only get 2 shops in the district, which is not fair. And I kept saying, this is a bad deal, don't take it. So, the thing is, that, like, they had this thing where they were, like, negotiating for, like, 10 minutes. I think it was about 8 minutes. And it was funny. Like, it was great. I was like, I was basically like pretending to be impatient, but at the same time in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, it's been like an hour. It's already been an hour. Normally the games are an hour, but there was a little negotiating beforehand and I was like explaining stuff. So, it's been an hour of just us four playing this game on like, there was another TV on the side, but no one was using it. So on the sole TV, we were the only ones using that TV. So I was like, oh god, like I was wondering if people were getting impatient. So I was kind of feeling a bit impatient for those people, even though I thought it was great. You know, if it was just us four there, I would have. Well, I would have also just been like, this is such a terrible trade, because it was such a terrible trade. It's like, why are you still negotiating this? The answer's no. But I was kind of worrying that people were getting kind of sick of it. You know, I hope not. I need a second hand, someone who wasn't playing to come in and say, oh yeah, it wasn't bad. it was entertaining. I was just hoping people weren't getting bored, you know? Because I felt like, you know, there were people spectating that didn't entirely know what was going on, so they probably weren't as entertained. But I'm telling you, that game of Fortune Street was so fun, so I really hope that everyone had a good time. But yeah, eventually they got past that, and then we kept playing the game as normal, and at that point I was like putting a shit ton of stock in my district. Like, everyone had a monopoly, and it's like, well, having two monopolies really isn't even, it's good, but it's not that valuable. So Julian having like two, Fortune Street Deku is like, think of it like Monopoly, where you buy properties and then get monopolies, and your shops in that property become bigger, and then put stocks in them. So you put stocks in the district, and then, you know, you inflate your store, and then your stock prices go up and you get more money. It's Monopoly with stocks, essentially. It's really fun. It doesn't sound fun, but everyone who I've played it with and like taught it to loves it. I don't know why, but it makes me so happy. So I think all three of them at least had a really fun time. It warms my heart so much. Oh yeah, I have to remember. So usually when Deku and Game Boo are in the same spot, because both of their names are Julian, I just refer to them as their usernames. But yeah, for the sake of the story, whatever. But yeah, it was like basically, you know, the game kept going, and then I just kept, like, I fucking was snowballing. Like, I just went around, I had a lot of money, I went and put a bunch of stocks into my district. I had 300 stocks in my district at one point, and it's like, okay, now I just start sprucing. So I start sprucing, which, like, the game says, would you like to spruce your shop? So what me and my friends always say is sprucing your goose. And I said that to them, and they were like, it's like, what is sprucing your goose? Can we stop saying that? I'm like, no, that's the nomenclature. When you spruce your shop, which is putting more money in it, it's called sprucing your goose. That's just how it is. Yeah, I start sprucing my goose, and then this 300 stocks went up a lot in price. I was basically I immediately took the lead pretty handily. So I'm like, all right, I pretty much have this game in the bag. I think people around are getting impatient and might want to play something else. So I'm gonna just try to like bolt it to my shops so I can keep sprucing them and then get the target thing and win the game. But turns out that was like the incorrect decision. Like, I should have just kept playing normally, because I was kind of like losing money. I was gaining money, but I was like, I could have gained money and, you know, kept gaining money, more money. So I made it eventually. I'm like, I was kind of rushing in a way, not like stressed out rushing, but like, I'm like, I was convinced I had this game in the bag. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna end it. But don't tell them I said that, because it's, unfortunately, apparently anything can happen. It's not like as bad as 100% orange juice, but anything can happen, and something did happen. It was very weird. Out of nowhere, Sloth kind of like spruced his goose when he didn't have that many stocks, but it worked out for him. I thought it wasn't gonna work. He did it. It worked out for him. So he was actually catching up to me. And I was like, oh wow, well, I mean, he's catching up, but I'm pretty sure I still have the leg up on this. So I kept kept kind of playing kind of fast, trying to spruce my goose on shops and shit. And what happened? What happened? It was well, essentially I made it to the target goal. But basically in Fortune Street you make it to you get a certain amount of money and then you make it back to the bank to win. So I reached the target goal. All I had to do was make it back to the bank. I landed on a big shop. What was it? I think I landed on a big shop, but was okay. And then what happened is Game Boo pulled a card. Was it Game Boo? I forget. Someone pulled a card, a chance card, where it was someone loses 20%. Like a district picked at random loses 20% value or stock or something, and it was mine. It was mine. So that I was pulled under the threshold, and then Sloth just made it to the threshold. Well, no, he didn't make it to the Sloth never made it to the threshold, but he was above. He was like after that, he was only 100 like gold above me, a mere 100, and Kay landed on some bad spaces. Like she was doing pretty well, but one bad thing became another. I think it was just bad kind of stock investments, but I didn't really want to be a backseat gamer. I was like giving advice, but I was afraid like if I was like, oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you. I'd be kind of pushing it. So a few bad stock investments, I think, kind of put her in a bad spot. So she landed on an expensive shop and you know, was like, ooh, she had to start selling shops and stuff. So she only had 500 net worth, right? So she was like close to bankrupting. And in Fortune Street, when you bankrupt, the game ends, and whoever's in first place at the moment wins the game. So you can guess what happened. Sloth was like a mere 100 gold above me. And then Kay bankrupted because she landed on an expensive shop, and Sloth won the game. I was basically ahead for like it was. I thought it was a guaranteed win, and then Sloth turned out winning. I'm like, what the fuck? What the fuck? The Fortune Street, man. It's like, wow, never counting yourself out, because holy shit. I don't know how good that story is for people who don't understand what Fortune Street is, but Fortune Street is really fun. If you ever have the chance to play it, like if there's just someone who knows how to play it and they offer to play it, I'd say do it. Like, I'm serious. Everyone who's ever played it with me ended up enjoying it. So it's insane how that works. Oh yeah, also I played as old Naruto. I'd be like, what the fuck? Basically, but like, okay, where I got old Naruto on that Wii was, you know, like the Check Me Out channel. It was a Check Me Out and like, I don't know what the other Me channel was. Basically, like people uploaded Miis and you could like rate them and stuff. Oh, Everybody Votes channel. I remember that. So I got old Naruto from one of those. Someone just made a Mii that looked like Naruto but old. So I'm like, I thought that was funny. So, you know, fast forward to like half a decade or so later, when I play Fortune Street with like Carl and friends for the first time, you have to use a Mii when playing online. So I had to pick a Mii, and old Naruto was there, so I just chose him. And he's been my Mii for Fortune Street ever since. So I was gonna choose Wario, and then I'm like, wait, hold on, this isn't right. I have to play as old Naruto. It was kind of funny. But yeah, I don't even remember what I was talking about before then, if I'm being real with you. Start talking about old Naruto. That's where it all started. But what, guys, what was I talking about? I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. What? I don't know. I chose old Naruto for Fortune Street. Was that the story? Was that all I was saying? I don't fucking know. I had Ui on that Wii, which I actually didn't fucking know. But old Naruto's my Fortune Street guy, so it's insane. But yeah, by that point, that Fortune Street game was about, we guesstimate it was about 2.5 hours. So I genuinely feel bad for the people that weren't playing if it was kind of boring or whatever. They would rather play something else. I'm genuinely sorry about that. But like, I don't know, if at the same time, it's like, that was such a good game of Fortune Street. If you had no idea what I was talking about and you were there, you have to take my word for it. That was like my favorite game of Fortune Street. Just the way Julian was like, Game Boo, was playing up the negotiations. Like, I've never seen negotiations like that in a game. It was insane. Yeah, 2.5 hours for a game that's normally like an hour, and that's long. Like, don't get me wrong, I know that's long. But yeah, we played that for a while, and then it was like, okay, we had to start going. It was like only 11 or so. I was kind of expecting like, oh, we'd stay late. Wow, that dude just bolted. We stay kind of late-ish because it was the last day, and you know, everyone would have to leave in the morning and stuff. But now the night kind of ended at 11. Anticlimactic a bit. There we go. Yeah, it ended with that game of Fortune Street. So no Ribbit King. God damn it! Another year of too many games, and I don't get to play Ribbit King. Now, to be fair, I'm very thankful that they let me play Fortune Street. At all. So I'll take Fortune Street, definitely. But it's like, god damn it, like I'm always so hyped about playing Ribbit King at Too Many Games. I think in the Discord we have, I was like, all right, Too Many Games tomorrow. Yesterday. Yeah, we didn't play Ribbit King. So I had it. The Wii was even set up. So it's like shit, but I don't even know. Next year, maybe. I'm just gonna be like, okay, this is the first thing we have to play so that we actually play it. Probably aren't gonna do net play at some point, but we could. Yeah, next year we're gonna be doing Ribbit King. So what are some regrets? Right off the bat, no Ribbit King. We didn't do Ribbit King. I didn't make the Mike Pollock stuff, which is kind of fine. I didn't see Holden, who's like a kind of friend of ours, who was at the convention, and I think like literally met up with everyone else, but I was probably off. I don't fucking know. So I didn't get to see Holden. That sucked. What else? I don't regret the Charles Martinet signing, even though everyone was making fun of how expensive it was, and I was also making fun of it, so whatever. I don't regret that. I think that's it. Those are the only things. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm like really happy with how that turned out. Like, it's gonna get real for a second, but I was kind of worried that, because there are these things like to be liked by people and to be wanted by people. I didn't even think I made it to like the liked section. I thought I was just kind of like a background character last year, you know, just kind of there. Didn't entirely play the games, playing on my 3DS and shit. I don't know if that was my fault. I think I made it a pretty alright effort, but you know. So like that didn't set a good precedent, and then I haven't been around in the Discord that everyone is in for a while, like that kind of thing. So I was like, oh god, like people are gonna just kind of not really care about me. But I genuinely felt liked during that. Like I genuinely thought people, you know, liked having me around. So that was like that made me very happy. I was like thinking about this last night. And I'm not too sure about like wanted. I mean, it's not like I'm not wanted, I don't think, because, you know, if I'm liked, I'm pretty sure I'm, but like, you know, like oh where's Chris, like that kind of thing, that kind of wanted, you know what I mean? I don't know if I was that, but just being liked, you know, really warms my damn heart, you know. I don't know if I'm still that after that Fortune Street game, except for the three other people playing it, but it was a very great time, I think. Like, genuinely much better than last year. I mean, not like last year was bad. Just that I didn't really feel as like I won't say important. 'Cause that just sounds pompous, right? I don't know. I didn't really feel as like, I don't know what other word to use. This year though, I felt welcome, you know, that kind of thing. Not like I was unwelcome last time, or felt unwelcome last time. I don't even know how to describe how I'm feeling about it. Let's just say that I'm feeling very happy. Yeah, I guess that's the good word. I really didn't feel, I guess I didn't feel as connected last year, but this year I was like, you know, talking to people were talking to me. All felt very normal, not very forced. I didn't feel annoying when I said stuff. You know, I didn't feel like I was pushy at all. That kind of thing, you know? I just felt very at home, you know? It all felt normal. Just felt like hanging out with friends, which is exactly what it was. So, it's just, I don't know, it just still feels like a miracle to me how, like, I haven't been hanging out in that Discord a whole lot. But it still just was like nothing happened, you know? Like nothing ever changed. It's weird. But yeah, like after, I mean, even the first night where we just kind of talked about shit, that was still fine. Yeah, I think like, oh, for the Fortune Street game I sat, whoa, Michael. For the Fortune Street game I sat on the floor. For the rest of the time, I pretty much hogged chairs, but I think that's fair because you all know I herniated discs in my neck, so if I sit on the floor, I slouch, and I'm kind of feeling the Fortune Street thing because it was apparently 2.5 hours, so I really shouldn't have done that. Should have sat in a chair, but yeah, like I didn't want to like, cause you know when you sit on the floor, you have no back support, so you slouch forward, and then that's bad for your neck and back. And then because my neck and back are already so weak, I feel it like a lot worse than other people. So, ooh, that was, I won't say pathetic, but but yeah. So I kind of like hog chairs, but I think there was a genuine reason for that, you know, the back support. If there weren't any chairs, I stood. So you can at least stand. I don't want to sound like, you know, I'm like handicapped or something, because it's definitely not a actual bad condition. It's just, you know, with lying with my laptop like that definitely weakened my spine and neck. So don't do it. I say it every time, don't do it. It's worth sitting up at your desk even if you're tired and you have a laptop, then you could just lie down. Don't just put the laptop on like your stomach and then look at it by bending your neck forward. It's just not worth it. Or else you'll end up like me, feeling the need to sit in a chair when there are a limited amount of chairs. You know what I mean? Like, I shouldn't have to think about that, but I do. I would have given you my chair if I knew. No. I really didn't want to bother people with it, because I'm completely fine with standing too. After a point, you know. I didn't feel like I was straining while standing up. The only time I felt like I was straining while standing up was at the convention center itself. So, no problems there, my man. Yeah, the Airbnb felt like pretty small on the first day, but then we made it work somehow. Like people were sitting on the floor and shit, and it just kind of worked. I mean, I think Pat was kind of stuck being the stair goblin for most of it, unfortunately, but I hope that was fine. I hope everyone had an alright time at the Airbnb, because as I just said, I was sitting down a lot, so of course I did, but yeah, I think next year, two criticisms about the Airbnb could be bigger. Of course, this year it was kind of booked like pretty late because the idea happened pretty late. I'm pretty close to the event. But yeah, it could be bigger, and also could be like closer to, oh, I don't know, could be closer to the convention center. Just, I don't want to drive down that hell highway again, ever. Like that was the worst part of the first 2 days. Like the second day, I genuinely wasn't looking forward to it, and I think the main reason why I didn't go to the convention center today was because I didn't want to drive down it. It's just easier to drive straight to the Airbnb, and there's nothing at the convention center anyway. Oh, but yeah, it's gonna be really weird going back to my normal life, like these last 3 days pretty structured. Like you wake up, you can chill for a bit, then you leave for this, and then you just kind of stay there until midnight, come back, maybe stay up for a bit and do a little bit of salmon run, and then go back and do it again. And there was just stuff to do, stuff like that. Not too much stress, just that drive. Could be bigger. You sound like my ex-wife. Oh yeah, speaking of regrets, I don't know if this is a regret or not, but someone made a Yoshi doing tax fraud joke, and I can't do it in this house because my dad's downstairs, but I made this really loud ha ha ha, kind of like fake laugh. People were like, whoa! I was like, ooh, might have gone a bit overboard on that one, but that joke is genuinely not funny, so I don't know if I regret it. Are you fucking for real? What, Patrick? Patrick Rumpkin is in the chat. Why am I not asleep? You're an absolute madman? Well, I mean, we aren't doing TMG tomorrow. I was actually just talking about that. So, and I don't have any dog jobs tomorrow, because I said I was gonna be until Monday because I didn't know what the Monday situation was. So I can stay up as long as I want, and I get to do every salmon run still, and it gives me a good opportunity to talk about the whole event, So here I am. But yeah, it's like, now I gotta go back. I gotta walk dogs in this terrible heat. I was thinking, like, it was really hot today. And it was, oh shit. It was really hot today, and it was actually really comfy. The first 2 days of the event. Because I guess it was raining, right? Which is normally like a not good thing, but it was cool, and it wasn't raining that hard. I was afraid, because last year at TooManyGames, like every day was fucking hot. It was like above 80 degrees, and I was afraid it was gonna be like that, and I was gonna be a sweaty mess, and people would think I was gross, but I barely sweat at all. Like even today, oh shit, this isn't good. Yeah, no. Like even today, it was 85 degrees when I was driving down. I was like, ugh, but. You come to realize that you're just kind of a grosser person when you're out standing in, like you're out in that heat, standing in it, no air conditioning at all, waiting for this dog to pee, and then you come back in, and then you drive around in it for a while. So that was a nice part of TooManyGames that I'm not looking forward to going back to. Hey, Aggie. So, hey, okay. That game of Fortune Street, though, am I right? I was talking about how fucking crazy it was earlier. And how it was, like, pretty much, I think, genuinely the best game of Fortune Street I've ever played. Just with, like, all the trades and shit. And, even though I was pretending to be impatient with Game Boo, it was actually, like, the funniest thing. Do dogs even want to be walked in this heat? Well, really, none of the dogs I usually have want to be walked, full stop. I mean, well, really, I only have like one dog now because it's summer. But, he's like a little Rudy. I don't know if you've seen, a while ago I posted a picture of this little wiener dog on mulch at, 20. That's the dog that I still have. And he just likes to lie in the grass. Like, lie in the heat and chill. And I'm like, dude, come on. I wish I could just let him do it and then go inside, but nah. If they just got an electric fence or something, I would be in heaven. But he's like so cute. I can't stay mad at him for too long. He's just so fucking cute. Like, it's not fair. Actually, yeah, I actually had a lot of fun with it. I sort of had an idea of what was going on. Yeah, I felt like everyone playing like eventually learned how Fortune Street went, despite how like complex it seems, you know? Oh, come on, man. Like, it's usually just, you know, by example in Fortune Street, where you just kind of see what's happening. You see, like, oh, someone has a lot of stocks, and then they invest in it, and then suddenly they have, like, you know, 3,000, you're like, oh! That kind of thing. Wow, good grenade, Chris. He's looking forward to more next year? I hope so. Pat, what was the mood in the room while Fortune Street was going on? Because that went on for a while, and I'm kind of nervous. I don't know how many people were actually watching or like bored on their phones or stuff. Because I felt like everyone playing was having a good time. I don't know about anyone else. Because I would love to play Fortune Street again. The problem is it's like only 4 people. I don't know, maybe we could incorporate teams or something and make team decisions. That would get really complicated if fucking Game Boo's gonna be doing negotiations like that again. Then like 5 people have to make the decision to deny him of his crazy request. Enjoying it quite a bit while doing Odyssey stuff. I'm always down with Odyssey stuff. But Pat didn't even finish all the Koopa free running stuff. I was like, he did Lost Kingdom, and he actually put down a pretty solid time. I think it's only like 6 seconds slower than my PB. As we learned, my Lost Kingdom PB is kind of worse than I thought. But it's Lost Kingdom, so I don't want to fucking redo it. I don't want to do that. Pat said he might get a capture, like if he gets a capture card, he might stream Koopa free running. So I have that. I have a little bit of leverage. It always seems like it'd be like so boring to watch because it's like a bunch of resetting and stuff, but I don't know, I like to think that seeing the strats unfold and stuff and then the run happens, it's exciting. That's the shit I'm all about. It's like, why do people watch speedrunning? Like, Summer Games Done Quick is going on right now. I don't know what is being played. I'm only really interested in Odyssey at the end. Because I actually watched that dude. Yeah, Odyssey's speedrun is so cool. Ah! Yeah, biggest regret of the entire convention is not playing Ribbit King again, though. For real, like, like, we were playing on an emulator last time on someone's laptop. And, yeah, last night, I was like, well, if we don't want to pull out the Wii and use that, I'll put the Ribbit King ISO in, and that'll be good. Like, turns out, all my ISOs fucking disappeared. Except I think I downloaded the Ribbit King one at some point, so thank God. But then I realized, like, starting the base game without any save data fucking sucks. But I have, like, 10 memory cards of 10 backups for the Roommate Edition last year. Which is, like, literally, basically last year. If you can believe that. So I had to go through all of them and see which one had everything unlocked. It was a bit of a chore. I mean, it didn't even come from you, so I'm like, shit, man. It's not that bad. I'm just more bummed that we didn't get to play Ribbit King, because I feel like there are people in that room who don't know what the fuck Ribbit King is. They don't know the insanity of Ribbit King. How you, like, you hit your frog, it bounces off a spider web, it gets eaten by a snake, it gets put on a wave of dicks, and then put in a teleporter, and then a pterodactyl takes it. Like, it's crazy. I love Ribbit King, man. I was looking at, like, the save data and stuff. It kind of made me nostalgic for when I wanted to do, like, informative videos on Ribbit King. Oh, I died. Yeah, I was, like, thinking about how every frog does have different stats, but I never actually looked into what they were. So you know what? Maybe I'll do a shit ton of research for next Too Many Games, and then I'll be like Connor, explaining how everything in Mario Party 4 works. But I'll be that with Ribbit King. final wave clear. We good. I can't wait for Pat ... It's okay, Pat. I can backseat you through all the free running, but not really. If you want a link of all the like, genuine Odyssey world records and shit, it is right here. A random game on my Christmas list one year, and ended up getting Ribbit King. Who gave you Ribbit King? We reached 1,200, but let's go for a bit more. Connor really is the Todd Rogers of Mario Speedwagons. I was saying this earlier, but I'm like, I genuinely love how much knowledge Connor has on Mario Party 4. Like, it's just a joy, you know? Your parents? But how is Ribbit King, like, even... How many copies of that game even exist? No idea. I don't even think it's speedrunning Mario Party. Like, Ray's Fire speedruns Mario Party. I kind of dropped off at that point. He's a fun guy. I'm probably just gonna stick around for tennis though. But like Connor, I think Connor's thing is he grinded out specific mini games, you know, like ILs essentially, which means individual levels. But like his knowledge of like, you know, you press A on this frame and yeah, the world record is this. This is how you mash the buttons. This is how the world record holder mashed the buttons. Here's an alternate way to mash buttons. You use the hammer on him now, so we'll miss the start. Like, shit that I never even thought about as a kid. Just genuinely interesting. Oops. You know what seems like a really bad game to speedrun? The Octo expansion. This game. Like, ooh. Like the 8-ball missions, speedrunning that? Nah. Not about that. Alright. Press A. And about were you here earlier? I don't think so. I was at TooManyGames. I missed all the hubbub in Carl's chat recently. The one thing I want to know, did Carl end up beating Spelunky yet? Is that what happened? Cause I missed quite a bit of stuff. Like Gavin was streaming a lot. I know that much. I think I did a pretty alright job keeping up on Twitter somehow. I'm like fucking like I feel like I'm the only person in the world who tries to read all of the tweets in this timeline. Made it to the giant headband. Presumably didn't beat it. Well, that's good because that means I will eventually get to watch the victory. Yeah, time flew at TooManyGames, man. Like I wasn't even like I didn't even look at my phone like at all. I was supposed to be looking at my phone in case someone was saying something in Discord that I need to see, but I'm complete laissez-faire on my phone, except for like using it as a map to get to places, which kind of astounds me. Like I didn't check Twitter at all, basically. Just I guess thorough entertainment throughout, right? So it was really good this year. Definitely going to be a lot more excited for next year. Especially because I feel like we have learned more about, you know, the convention and stuff. And you know, the Airbnb especially. Like that's going to be the docket. That's going to be on the plan months in advance probably. So that's good. And I might want to I don't know. I guess it depends how far the Airbnb is. Because this Airbnb was only like 20 minutes from my house. on a highway that I was actually pretty familiar with. Nice. So, the driving to and from was actually not bad at all. Last year kind of wasn't as bad. I got lost once or so. Yeah, driving actually wasn't that bad, but I don't know. I don't know. I think I would need to be guaranteed a bed because of my aforementioned neck issue, which would make things complicated, but it's always nice to be able to fall back on being able to drive home, which is exactly what happened this year. So it all worked out. Oh yeah, and then next year we'll get to see Deku Julian. Most likely. And probably more people. Yeah, I know people are angry about Splatfest. Yeah, overall, it was really nice. I definitely felt like I belonged, you know? That's the best thing I could say about it, definitely. And then the second best thing is that game of Fortune Street. Yeah, I'm really sad. I'm probably gonna be reeling tomorrow. I'm gonna just be sitting at my computer, just like not. I'm gonna have stuff to do, but it's gonna be the usual stuff. I'm just gonna be like, feels weird to not be going to too many games. Like it just doesn't feel right. But we can't do it every day. Yeah, a lot of people are going to AX that I know as well, but I guess a question would be like, how would I survive like going to a con outside of my state? I got really lucky with TooManyGames. Like, if it wasn't like 40 minutes away, would I have ever gone to whatever other convention it would have been? Like even last year. So that's a scary thought. Yeah, I got really lucky with how close it is. But like, I did go to Comic-Con one year for like a day. It was pretty much the same thing, just kind of like bigger. I don't know, like maybe this year I'm just not gonna be too big on cons anymore, right? Because I like barely really bought anything. I wasn't too interested in the panels. I was all about the Airbnb and hanging out with, you know, the friends, the gang, playing games and shit. So who knows? I'm definitely looking forward to that next year where we play Ribbit King. And maybe I'll do more research by then. I have a whole year, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking with TooManyGames. It's like, oh, well, TooManyGames would probably be too annoying to go to and from every single day. But like 40 minutes actually isn't that bad when you go all day. But yours might be like, you know, an hour, 2 hours. It's like, no, that's unreasonable. Yeah, I think that's it. Cause it's like 1 in the morning now. I think I got everything I wanted to say out of the way, right? Let me just give it a little think here. Cause you know, it's weird how long we could play games for at the Airbnb. We didn't play too much, right? We played like Jackie, Kirby, Mario Party, Fortune Street, and there was like Metroid Prime at one point. And as long as I was there, I think that was like it. So, oh yeah, I brought like this. I brought a separate TV, and I brought like my Wii U, my Wii, which ended up being used, and like a huge stack of games, HDMI splitter just in case. It's good to have all the options just in case, but like it's just kind of funny how like little got used. I always overpack. Like I had a whole box of Pop-Tarts, like 20 granola bars in case I got hungry. Didn't get hungry. The only time I ate anything like that was today because I had that instead of lunch. Yeah, I brought my flat screen that I'm playing on right now because it's light and I'm driving there and could have been useful, you know. Like, I thought Fortune Street was gonna go on in like a separate TV in the other room, but it was on the main TV. Jesus, what a game. I wish we recorded that or something. Like, a Fortune Street game that we etched in my memory forever. Yeah, I think that's it. I think I went over everything. Overall, extremely good. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with TooManyGames this year. Other than the Hell Highway, like, you know, even if I didn't see, I keep forgetting, like Mike Pollock and whatever else I said my regrets were or whatever, you know, not really big deals. Ribbit King, maybe a bit of a big deal. But yeah, the good was really good. I think the only time I was really having a bad time was at the convention. Like, there was this cosplay wrestling that everyone was watching. It was just so loud and nothing was going on, and it wasn't interesting last year. So I don't know why we thought it was gonna be interesting or funny this year. I don't know. We ended up leaving pretty quickly, but I think that was the only time I was genuinely just like, get me out of here. That's it. Insane, right? All 3 days. Very pleased. So I hope I didn't come off as like bragging at some points or just straight up awkward, but or not awkward, but you know, said things nondescriptly. But yeah, I had a really fun time. It was great. So let's see, when is Salmon Run next? When are we returning to our regularly scheduled streams? Also, I guess I'll stream Mario Tennis Aces Story next. I was gonna do Undertale before TooManyGames, but then I'm like, wow, I don't want to split that up. That's gonna get pushed back again. Versus, let's see, 6:26 at 2 a.m. It's 6:25, but that's because it just rolled over. So Tuesday is the next Salmon Run. Oh yeah, it was really funny. John, yeah. John, who's bad usernames, just like asked me while I was there, like just poking fun at how often I stream Salmon Run. I'm like, yeah, it's just I've gotten the groove of doing every single one, so now I just do it all. It's like, yeah. You know, I never really think about how much like people who like follow me on Twitter and Twitch and stuff just see me doing Salmon Run again. Like what they think. It's like, oh, yeah, Chris doing Salmon Run again. Classic. It's a pretty funny thought. Yeah, the things I heard about Mario Tennis Story is that it's really short, but then there's one mission involving mirrors that's really hard and took some people several hours to beat. So I'm really excited for that mirror mission. And then I don't know how much tennis I'll play. Maybe I'll learn to get good. We'll just have to see. Oh, hey Deku, I was actually literally just about to end. So oh, I clicked the wrong thing and now I'm opening Microsoft Word. I was gonna pull up the end card there, but yeah. I'm just like trying to think. No, Chris, stop. You'll go blabbering on forever, repeating the same thing if you go. I'm trying to think of stuff again. I hope everyone watching has a nice night, and for everyone who still has to travel home from TooManyGames, that the airport or the drive isn't shitty and terrible, because both of those things are not good most of the time. Microsoft Word or end card. Is there a difference? Yeah, I made the end card in Microsoft PowerPoint, not Microsoft Word. Yeah. See you guys. That sounded so sad. It wasn't sad.